灵魂类、飞行宫殿类、领域类，每一件至宝都足以令宇宙霸主为之疯狂。
生命印记，烙印，金线激光器，催动，压制，神力燃烧。
你一人就拥有至少6件至宝，还有多少超级存在会盯上你啊？
来的异族强者再多，也只是我的磨刀石。
Hello guys, welcome to the Alrasted channel to discuss and explain the exciting storyline of your favorite series, SwallowedStar episode 212. In the previous episode, Luofeng finally managed to break through to the Immortal level, sparking a life or death battle against King Bark Mirror. In that epic duel broadcasted across the entire universe, Luofeng showed off some insane power with his black hole technique, completely cornering King Bark Mirror and literally forcing him to blow himself up. Right after that absolute victory, Luofeng actually got ambushed by Venerable Feng, who was out to snatch his war loot, forcing him into a desperate fight for survival where he had to sacrifice and detonate his massive remote ocean clone just to hold on until Venerable Feng finally showed up to save the day. The story then wrapped up with a huge victory celebration on Thunder Island, where Luofeng is now highly respected by pretty much everyone, and even got the news that he's officially been accepted into humanity's Supreme Council right before a super crucial top-secret meeting. So, what happens next? Alright, without further ado, let's jump straight into the story. The vibe at the World of Glory Square instantly heated up right after the fight between Luofeng and King Bark Mirror ended. A lot of people were pretty disappointed because King Bark Mirror unilaterally cut off the live broadcast the moment he started losing ground. To transparently prove his strength and shut down all the speculations, Luofeng ended up playing the video recording of their fight up in the sky above the square so everyone could clearly see how it all went down. The whole crowd was absolutely stunned watching the footage, seeing just how helpless King Bark Mirror was against Luofeng's sheer power. The climax hit when that arrogant special life form was forced to blow himself up, a tragic ending nobody ever saw coming. The news of King Bark Mirror's death instantly rocked the entire World of Glory and fully cemented Luofeng's reputation as a fighter on par with the Universe Venerable. Back in his palace, Luofeng checked out the world ring he scored from his fight with King Bark Mirror. Out of the massive loot he got, 2 items really caught his eye. First was the Golden Shako King armor, a true treasure armor packed with 3 incredibly complex layers of defensive power. This golden armor has an insane ability to drastically weaken enemy physical attacks, and Luofeng plans to use it on his human body. Besides the Golden Shako King armor, Luofeng also secured a treasure set called the Swallowing Claws. It's made up of 4 claw-shaped gloves that pack a massive attack boost. Not only that, but the energy from all 4 claws can be channeled into just one of them, making its attack power skyrocket crazily. As for these swallowing claws, Luofeng is going to equip them on his golden horned behemoth body. Fast forward 11 days, the sky above Bauhini Island suddenly shifted dramatically into a roaring sea of lightning, completely blocking out the view of the 5-colored Aurora Lake. All the inheritors on the island fell dead silent witnessing this super rare phenomenon. This bizarre event was the exact cue for Luofeng and Master Zhen Yan to realize that a seriously powerful figure was about to descend on the island. Instantly, the energy pressure that rolled in felt way beyond the power of a guardian beast god, forcing hundreds of millions of inheritors from various races to immediately bow down in respect. The atmosphere across the whole island turned super heavy and sacred, almost as if the universe's origin laws themselves were coming down to pass a mandate. The Thunder Beast God finally revealed his true, majestic form, radiating pure lightning energy in all directions. His presence was so intense that not a single fighter dared to make direct eye contact. Every flap of his wings triggered insane thunderstorms up in the sky, proving that this beast god was the literal embodiment of unrivaled natural law authority. In the middle of that nerve-wracking silence, the Thunder Beast God's booming voice called out the name, Blade River King, so loudly it shook the very souls of everyone listening. Before he could even react, Luofeng felt his body wrapped in an invisible force that lifted him high into the sky, right in front of the god. Millions of other inheritors could only stare, glued to this rare moment where a human genius was officially recognized and summoned directly by one of the universe's supreme rulers. The vibe on Bohemia Island went completely silent and tense as Luofeng was hoisted into the air by that mysterious force. Right in front of hundreds of millions of inheritors, the Thunder Beast god looked at him with a gaze full of pride and friendliness, acknowledging just how crazy fast this human kid's power had grown and how solid his willpower was. The god then announced his intention to openly give him a precious reward. That moment instantly sparked a massive uproar among the inheritors down below, who were practically green with envy over Luofeng's insane luck. The inheritors from different races couldn't hide their awe, totally aware that a personal visit from one of the 8 beast gods definitely meant a stupidly powerful true treasure was on the table. Without beating around the bush, the Thunder Beast god conjured up a giant ball of lightning tens of thousands of miles wide. Once the lightning spear shrank and landed right in front of him, its true form was revealed. An ancient golden mirror hundreds of miles across, glowing with golden light. Even though he was a bit confused about what kind of item it was, Luofeng respectfully stashed it right into his world ring to figure it out later. After dropping some final words of wisdom, telling Luofeng not to let him down, the Thunder Beast god vanished in a flash as the lightning energy pressure in the sky faded away. Meanwhile, in a flying palace in the Northern Territory Alliance, a Universe Master Level ruler named Qilan Hu, looks like a 4-legged creature with white hair, decided to step in and fix their mess of a defeat. Accompanied by Venerable Feng, he explained that the humiliating loss of King Bark Mirror had actually caused the ancestral god sect to start prioritizing Luofeng as a highly valuable inheritor. So, to bring King Bark Mirror back to life, Qilan Master asked Venerable Feng about the exact time King Bark Mirror came to see him at his palace. Feng replied that it happened 3 years ago. The Universe Master then ordered Feng to step back and made sure nobody else came close. A time domain was created, and Feng himself was super hyped, because watching the time and space reversal technique happen right in front of him was a super rare chance that only beings with at least a Universe Master's level of power could pull off. Qilan Master started unleashing his power until the space around them literally hit reverse, showing all the subordinates who had visited his palace over the past 3 years. It didn't take long before the Universe Master pinpointed the exact moment King Bark Mirror had visited. Using his insane energy protection, he tanked the backlash from the universe's laws just to forcefully pull the soul of King Bark Mirror into the present. This whole process meant the Universe Master had to endure some serious physical pain as punishment for breaking the universe's natural rules to revive a dead fighter. On the flip side, back in his palace, Luofeng excitedly started studying his gift from the Thunder Beast god. After imprinting his soul mark on it, he found out the item was called the Golden Thread Aurora Mirror, a super rare, high-tier domain-type treasure. Even though it technically isn't classed as a true treasure, its value and utility are considered way higher than most regular treasures because it gives the user total control over the battlefield. Babata then chimed in, explaining that all the treasures Luofeng currently owns complement each other perfectly, covering attack, mental power, defense, escape, sealing, and resources. However, Luofeng didn't have a domain-type treasure yet. She mentioned that out of all treasure types, the 3 most dominating ones are soul type, flying palace type, and domain type like the 1,000 Treasures River and the 5-color Aurora Lake. Domain type treasures are super unique because they offer both offense and defense over a massive area. Activating a domain treasure transforms the surrounding glowing area into the user's absolute control zone. She also noted that a domain treasure can suppress strong enemies, while weak enemies, even in massive numbers, can get wiped out in the blink of an eye. Without overthinking it, Luofeng carved his life mark onto the Golden Thread Aurora Mirror and activated it right away. Instantly, golden threads looking like tiny nets completely filled up a 60 million square mile area, with him as the command center. The domain's power spiked drastically because it synergized perfectly with Luofeng's comprehension of the gold laws, creating wide-range attacks that could literally blow up nearby planets. You could easily guess that even an Immortal King-level opponent would get instantly vaporized if hit by the Golden Thread Aurora's attack. And when Luofeng activated it by burning his divine power, the treasure's attacks got even deadlier and wider. Luofeng felt extremely satisfied because he finally had a method to trap his enemies, ensuring they couldn't escape when he unleashed his explosive attacks from his remote ocean body. However, Luofeng's chill vibe got ruined when his palace door was pounded on aggressively by King Thousand Rain. She looked totally panicked and brought some seriously urgent bad news about what was going down in the world of glory. Luofeng, who had spent the last few days completely absorbed in his training and waiting for the Human Supreme Council meeting schedule, was just confused. He had absolutely zero clue that he was currently tangled up in a massive mess that was turning the whole Inheritor community upside down. The shocking news finally reached Luofeng through his friends. King Bark Mirror had been successfully brought back to life by the higher-ups of the Northern Territory Alliance. But the main issue wasn't really that his enemy was back. It was the deadly slander King Bark Mirror was spreading to get his revenge. He was broadcasting to the entire universe, claiming that the only reason he lost was because Luofeng owned a super rare soul-type, true treasure kind of loot that even top-tier fighters drool over. The rumors got even wilder when King Bark Mirror spiced up the story, adding that Luofeng also had a flying palace-type true treasure to escape from Venerable Pei Feng's pursuit. Hearing King Bark Mirror's exaggerated claims made Luofeng shake his head in disbelief because he actually managed to escape thanks to Venerable Zhou Feng. The combo of a soul-type treasure, a flying palace type, and the new domain type he just got from the Beast God made everyone think Luofeng was sitting on at least 6 true treasures. In the eyes of the Venerable Overlords, Luofeng's stash drove them absolutely crazy with greed. Factor in the Shi Wu wings and the Golden Shako King armor, and there are at least 6 high-tier treasures publicly known to be in Luofeng's hands right now. It was a guaranteed fact that a ton of heavy hitters would be gunning for his loot. But honestly, Luofeng just brushed off the news and stayed completely chill. Meanwhile, King Bark Mirror was laughing it up, super satisfied to see his plan successfully stirring up chaos for Luofeng. He himself had lost his status and was getting completely trashed by his alliance boss Star River Master because he lost the fight and all his previous gear. King Bark Mirror even bowed down begging for a treasure so he could get revenge on Luofeng, but Star River Master flat out refused to give anything to someone he considered absolute trash. Still, King Bark Mirror's rage paid off since he managed to drag Luofeng into some inescapable danger. Knowing full well he wouldn't be able to kill Luofeng with his own hands anytime soon, he intentionally baited the Universe Overlords into stepping up as the executioners for his sworn enemy. Master Zhen Yan, who was stressing out hardcore, quickly rushed over to Luofeng's palace to warn his disciple about the massive danger lurking around the corner. But surprisingly enough, Luofeng took the whole situation super calmly, just sipping his tea like it was a normal Tuesday. He was already mentally prepped to face whatever ambushes or slaughter came his way, totally believing that the road to the absolute top basically requires stepping over the piled-up bones and blood of his enemies. Luofeng's guts were backed by his absolute confidence in his current defensive specs and escape skills. In his eyes, every hunter that came after him would just end up being the perfect sparring partner to grind and sharpen his power even more. He made it crystal clear to his master that he wouldn't flinch against anyone, and if a crazy strong opponent actually showed up, he still had a bunch of aces up his sleeve to safely bounce from any trap. Right as the tension from all the treasure rumors was peaking, a major notification popped up through the virtual universe system, shifting Luofeng's focus. He was officially summoned to attend the human race's Supreme Council meeting that was kicking off real soon. This time, Babata was genuinely amazed by Luofeng, who was now basically on par with the Universe Venerable. With his current rep, this was a massive, historic milestone for Luofeng to finally step foot into the human race's core circle of power. Attending the highest council meeting of humanity, the vibe there was just insanely majestic. It was surrounded by clouds and packed with thousands of powerhouse fighters who were usually just legends. Even though Luofeng got greeted by a few familiar faces like the Bloody Wing Knight, he could easily feel the stares from thousands of other Universe Venerable stares, fully loaded with deep envy and curiosity about those treasure rumors. Shortly after, two gigantic golden doors decorated with star carvings slowly swung open, signaling the start of the gathering at the Pantheon Sanctuary. Passing through the golden portal, all the grand fighters were automatically teleported right into the floating palace hall. Luofeng felt this epic spatial jump sensation before finally realizing he was already standing inside the most sacred meeting room for humanity, alongside thousands of other racial elites. Up on this Pantheon mountain, the fighters were split into two huge groups based on their power and star rankings. The first group was filled with basic to senior level fighters, while the second, way more exclusive spot was reserved for the Universe Overlords and Universe Masters. Luofeng totally understood that despite his massive reputation, his official status meant he had to sit with the first group. And get this, even among the first group, there were folks Luofeng recognized, like Venerable Ninesword and Balsiwa. These guys used to be super jealous of his achievements and literally tried to stunt his growth back in the day. But the funny part is, guys, their status is now completely on par with our MC. Meanwhile, at the very top of Pantheon Mountain sat the absolute bosses of the human race. This time, we get to see the heavyweights in the senior group, the Universe Masters, from the top 5 organizations. We're talking Long Yen Master from the Virtual Universe Company, Pengong Master from Universe Star Riverbank, Ice Summit Master from the Virtual Universe Company, Qingdong Master from Universe First Bank, Darkness Master from the Virtual Universe Company, and last but definitely not least, the absolute strongest, the Hugh Jax creator from the Hugh Jax Dojo, clocking in at an insane Tier 8 True God level. Initially, they brought up the rumors about Luofeng, which had a lot of strong fighters accusing the Primal Chaos City Lord of playing favorites. They thought he unfairly handed over a super rare soul-type treasure to Luofeng back when he was just a world master. The Hugh Jax creator even called it out, thinking Chaos City Lord was way too biased toward Luofeng. Pengong Master even threw the second disciple, Venerable Gui Yi, into the mix, pointing out how he always followed Chaos City Lord around, but never got hooked up with a soul-type treasure like Luofeng did. Like Luofeng was only a world master back then, but he already got something that overpowered, which was bound to spark some major jealousy among the older disciples. But Ice Summit Master quickly shut Pengong Master's argument down, saying that giving out treasures, or not, is totally normal since plenty of Universe Masters are pretty stingy with their students anyway. Besides, it's the owner's stuff, so it's completely their right to pass it down to whoever they want. All this dissatisfaction was fueling negative rumors trying to drag down Primal Chaos City Lord's credibility as the top boss of the Virtual Universe Company. He clarified that the only treasures he actually gave to Luofeng were the Shiwungs and the Beast God Armament Shield. As for the rest of the loot, that was all purely from Luofeng's own grind. Hearing that, the other leaders were genuinely impressed by the honesty of Chaos City Lord, easily coming to the conclusion that Luofeng is basically a guy blessed with insane luck and a massive destiny for the human race. Moving right along, the Hugh Jax creator called for the main agenda to begin. The meeting officially kicked off with Chaos City Lord leading the discussion this time around. The vibe in the room instantly got dead serious when Primal Chaos City Lord formally announced the main reason they called this Supreme Council, the reopening of the original star. This news immediately set off shockwaves among the thousands of grand fighters present, because the original star is the literal center of the universe, the bloodiest battleground fought over by billions of races. This announcement was basically a massive war cry telling all human fighters to gear up for the biggest treasure hunt the universe has ever seen. Chaos City Lord explained that the original star is famously known as the most dangerous yet ridiculously treasure-rich place in the whole universe. It's an absolute bloodbath out there to fight for the loot. But for anyone who actually scores a treasure, they can either keep it for themselves or hand it over for the race's benefit in exchange for contribution points. And of course, those contribution points can be cashed in for whatever resources they might need. Babata also chimed in, explaining that the original star itself is made up of 10,081 planets orbiting the land of origin, and the path there only opens up once every 100,000 eras. The gateway to the original star will stay open for exactly 1,000 eras. This whole event is going to act like a massive magnet, pulling in super beings from other races all across the universe just to brawl for the loot. Even universe masters could drop dead there, so she strongly advised against Luofeng joining the original Star Rush since the risks are just way too insane and dangerous. This time, Chaos City Lord laid it out straight. Being a member of the Supreme Council means you're basically a pillar for the human race. Every single piece of treasure found at the original star can be swapped for contribution points to beef up humanity's defenses and secure our future. Wrapping up the meeting, Primal Chaos City Lord gave all the strong human fighters a solid 10-year prep window before the gates to the original star actually swing open. So, will Luofeng tag along and get back to slaughtering his enemies, guys? Well, my prediction is we're probably going to see that whole original star adventure hit the screens in a movie version. Okay, thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me, bye.